You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, Fashion 411, featuring the week's roundup of fashion news. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, Fashion 411.
Look, I wore clothes for this anyways, and you don't ever put it, you put it in your mouth before you put it in the same spot.
Alright,
Because you're not
swallow
gonna
it.
No, you won't, but you
This will
won't.
be interesting online.
This is a real thing. It's not my
We're
real
live, and we got our theme song rolling.
Talk about jury, guys. Talk about jury.
Well, jewelry's fashion, but
Yes, yes. But you were saying things about swallowing and holding things in your mouth. We just want to make clear. We're talking about jury, y'all.
All
That's what we're talking
right.
about.
Hey guys, if you are tuning in, it is Friday, May 16th, and this is Fashion 411 on Black Hollywood Live. Woo, woo. We are here and excited to bring you another week of what's happening in fashion and who fell off a runway and all that kind of fun stuff. And I want to remind you guys, make sure you download us on iTunes. It's 100% free, and make sure you rate us, make comments, because we want to make sure that we are bringing you everything that you want. So questions, comments, suggestions, we want to hear it. You can also check us out on YouTube if you want to see all of our pretty faces in the studio. And if you want to follow along and actually look at the pictures that we're referring to, you can check us out on Instagram at BHL online.
BHL Fashion 411.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we have a really fun guest in the studio today. But before I introduce her and everybody else in the panel, we have to give a shout out to Francesca Ramirez.
Yes.
Because Francesca is the reason why our guest is here today. She was actually supposed to be with us, but she couldn't at the last minute, so she had someone fill in for her. So thank you very much, Francesca. We love you for that.
Superstar.
So let's go around the room. Everyone can introduce themselves. I'll start across the table.
Hey guys, I am your host, Erika Garcia-Rojas, and I am your go-to girl for all things business and fashion. I am the co-owner of Raleigh Babe Apparel.
What's up, everybody? I'm your ho-host. I'm your ho-host today. Your co-host, Courtney Stewart. I am your resident and incapable of speaking English, fashionista, shopaholic, shoeaholic, always giving you guys the consumer perspective.
Always with new fabulous hair every week.
I know,
know.
it's fantastic.
Hey,
And I'm Diona Vaughan. I am your former New York City fashion guru, but now I'd like to think that I can bring the runway to the real way on a budget. Like, that's kind of like my thing. I love doing that. And I want to introduce our guest in the studio, Chelsea Traille. Hello. How are you?
So happy to be here. I'm honored to be here. I love this show. I love fashion.
Why don't you give everyone just a 2-second blurb as to who you
2-second
are?
blurb. Dancer extraordinaire. I'm just kidding. Dancer is mostly how most people know me. I've danced my whole life. I'm an actor as well. My most popular thing I was a part of was Burlesque, the movie with Cher and Christina Aguilera. It's my first acting role, and then since then I do a lot of TV, film, live shows. I just came off tour with Kanye West a month ago, so
And
hopefully.
what TV show were you on? That is
Yeah.
huge.
Oh,
That's
oh,
big.
right.
Sorry. Yeah. So you think you can dance?
Yeah.
Season 4. Season
Woohoo.
4. This is our
yes.
symbol. That's the Twitch Josh Allen season. Comfort and all
That
those
was a
kids.
That season.
That was the
Yeah,
best
that was awesome.
season.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm that's kind of person of all trades. I love art, music, fashion,
Awesome.
paint. All that stuff.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna hear a lot more about Miss Chelsea a little later in the show, but we're gonna get started with a little celebrity fashion for less. What do we got? Let's see. First up, okay. Well, first up is Beyonce. So she is lately, like, her style, like it's interesting, you know? And sometimes I don't think there's any one thing that defines Beyonce
Not
when it
at
comes to
all.
fashion. You know, you can't really put her in a box, you know? And this particular picture, she is wearing a denim floral printed shirt with these funky heels and some denim cutoff shorts, and then I don't want to call it a trucker hat, but just a baseball cap with Brooklyn on it. Now, if you want to get Beyonce's look for less, you can get the jeans from Zara for $49.90. Those are the cutoff jeans. You can get her Moto Bloom shirt from Topshop for $70. And then the hat she's rocking, you can actually get that from Mighty Healthy Brooklyn. It's called the Snapback Hat for $18. And the shoe, I just discovered this new website. I don't know if it's new to everybody else, but it's called heels.com. And oh my God, like if you sign up, just put your email address in, you get 20% off your first order. But basically, it's just like a clearinghouse for heels. So they've got tons of different brands.
Is it like well-known brands? Like,
Yes,
like
they've got
high-end
well-known
brands?
everything.
I wouldn't say high end, but like they've got like mid-tier brands
Like
and some
Steve
little,
Madden,
Steve
like
Madden,
the
Jessica
BCBG,
Simpson,
yeah.
BCBG, but
If
they
you
don't
would shop at Macy's, you could shop there. It would be
exactly.
similar brands.
And it's a great site, and you get 20% off just immediately just for joining the site.
Heels.com.
Yeah, heels.com, and actually her shoes, these shoes pictured on the less side, they are banana pink shoes by Privilege, and they're on heels.com for $110. So that's an awesome site that I love. Next up, who do we have for a little celebrity style for less? Oh, her head's cut off. Oh, well. This is Zendaya Coleman. And remember, you guys, we talked a lot about...
She was on our Style Watch.
Yes, exactly. She was in our Style
Fierce.
Watch. And
Fierce
we've
girl.
talked a couple times about how denim overalls have made a comeback. And she's rocking a whole, like, as I like to say it, a denim suit. She's rocking denim head to toe. Normally, I wouldn't like a look like this, but for some reason,
it looks good.
it looks good
It's
on her.
fitted.
The reason
Amazing.
why it works is because it fits her perfect.
It's not old school 90s. like-
Right.
They took those in for that.
It's
little
not
body.
hanging off of her. She doesn't have a strap, unhooked. It just, for whatever reason, it works. So if you want to recreate Zendaya's look, the overalls are from H&M for $29.95. That's crazy.
Love it.
The denim shirt is from a Levi's, pictured here, for $48. And the little knapsack, it's kind of hard to tell, but she's also carrying a backpack like that. But the knapsack is by Dahlia. It's called the Dahlia Fold Top Rucksack, and it's from French Connection for $188. And her aquamarine heels, you can recreate those for less from Michael Antonio Lavina for $45. And her lipstick, if we could see her pretty lips, is from Ilia Voila lipstick from Net-a-Porter for $26. So you can recreate her look for less. And then finally, I have Miss Kim Kardashian. We can't talk about anything these days if it doesn't have anything to do with Kim and Kanye or Barbara Walters leaving The View. I don't know. And so, all right. So to recreate Miss Kim's look here, which I'm a fan of this look because it's easy. I like the t-shirt, like a skinny jean, skinny pant, or a leather pant and a blazer. I think I would have added some bigger jewelry on here if this were me wearing it, but that's just me.
And I'm not a big fan of the shoes.
No.
I mean, they're
kinda-
pretty loud. Like
kinda
the pants
tacky.
and shoes are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
loud.
just a simple pump.
Yeah, me
without-
too.
Or even a flat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even a fun,
yeah.
just
I would never
flat.
want to see Kim in a flat in those tight pants.
No.
No.
That's true.
I need her in here.
That
Well,
is
for
not the
Kim,
silhouette.
no, but
That's not
just
the silhouette.
Yeah, but if you're recreating your own look. So if you want the look for less, you can get the trouser. It's the MSGM Slim Fit trouser, and it's on Farfetch.com for $137. The t-shirt, it's a viscose t-shirt from Topshop for $20. And the collarless blazer, it's from River Island, and that's actually a British store, but they're online for $60. And then the heel, once again from heels.com, it's called the Gilly heel for $110. So there's that recreated look, if that's how you want to do it.
Okay.
Kim's look. So that's a little celebrity style for less. What do we've got going on for Style Scoop?
Okay, guys, so I have your weekly style news here. And first up, we've got a little bit of a controversy in the lingerie world. La Perla found itself in a bit of a controversy after angry customers complained about a mannequin with visible ribs at a New York City Soho store. Yeah. So La Perla is actually now backtracking And for those of you who are listening to us
no.
on iTunes, definitely follow us on Instagram, BHL Fashion 411, or go to YouTube so you can see these images. It is crazy because the mannequin has actual visible ribs. La Perla is now backtracking, profusely apologizing for the figure's appearance. They say, quote, the mannequin photographed has been removed from the store and will not be used again by any La Perla boutique, La Perla said in a statement. We are in the process of redesigning all La Perla stores with a new concept image, and the mannequins that are currently displayed in our U.S. stores will no longer be used. We appreciate and value everyone's comments. Thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Wow.
Okay.
What in the hell?
Yeah.
And it's a saggy bathing suit. I mean, which does not, it definitely adds
You're
insult to
selling
injury.
lingerie, and it's
Wow.
Is that a lingerie?
It's lingerie.
Or
yeah,
that
lingerie.
La Perla is a
Oh,
lingerie
well,
company. so.
either way.
Right. But that, I mean, it doesn't look
That is
like.
not sexy.
But here's my
Hungry.
question:
She's hungry.
because La Perla is a French company, so
Yes.
is this what their mannequins look like in Europe? And they just
No.
brought they're introducing it here to the U.S. Like I have
You
so
know, I
many
don't know.
questions.
Having
there
just got
wasn't-
back. That's not what I saw.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I'm like, I ain't been in a few years, but
But I mean, yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. And anybody in marketing, anybody who's in charge of putting
Right.
these things together would have to know, especially in a U.S. market, that you cannot create something
Yeah.
with visible ribs. I've never seen anything like it before, and I'm not surprised there was an outcry. So
I mean, but the crazy part about it is someone
actually made that decision.
made a decision.
Good.
Someone
Yeah.
in a conference
Yeah.
room said, "Okay, we want the mannequins
Yeah.
to be."
Well, they
ribs.
model mannequins after the model.
Yeah.
So they found a Gond model, which is fine for that fashion world, but when you're marketing towards a whole group of people, it's just kind of it's isolating their own
whoever picked that.
own customers.
It's also putting like a underline or a punctuation mark or a bold on. This mannequin is thin. Not only is
Exactly.
she thin, but
You can
she's
see
so
her.
thin you can see her ribs. So it's one thing to see thin mannequins. We see them all the time, but it's another thing to underscore that idea with visible ribs. So.
But does Boney sell even because the idea has always been like Victoria's Secret has obviously been probably one of the most successful brands that's been able to like make their brand about lingerie. And the idea of Victoria's Secret in the past had been those were the sometimes a little bit rounder models that didn't quite make it on
Voluptuous.
the
Yeah.
runway.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Voluptuous.
trying to say that they're thick
Voluptuous.
because obviously
No,
they're
they're
not.
so
Yeah.
But by
thin.
no means are they bony. And sex is what sells lingerie, and bones don't usually equate to sex.
This
so I'm
is a
just,
very strange
it
choice.
doesn't make any
It's
kind
just
of
a very
logic.
strange
Yes.
choice.
So
I have a feeling this is what appeals to women in Europe. I really do.
Really?
I
Absolutely.
do. I
Definitely
do
in
because
France.
they're skinny, they're small, they're very petite. I think that's what appeals to them.
Like from my understanding, when you have a lot of junk in your trunk, this is a quote from someone that like Parisian men, for example, get a little, she's thicker. It's just like they like thin. The men are thin. The men are much
are
thinner.
Yeah, they are
so
smaller there.
Yeah.
they don't,
I think that appeals to them, and I think it's definitely not right. But I think since they're not an American company, an American brand, I think this is how this came to be.
yeah.
right. That I mean, to us it seems ludicrous.
Oh, yeah,
but
it's
I guess
ridiculous.
for your
All right, so let's move on from there. I think we made our opinion loud and clear. In case they weren't cheap enough already, super popular retailer Forever 21 is opening an even lower price store.
What?
How could it get any
The
lower?
store is set to open
free.
up here in Los Angeles in
Yes!
Southgate.
I'll be there.
In Southgate, California, actually this week. The new outpost called F21 Red will be full of $1.80 camisoles and $7.80
Where's
jeans,
Southgate?
according to
Just
Business
the
Insider.
south of the 105.
oh yeah,
So,
South England, like
yeah, inexpensive, cheap, Forever 21. I don't know.
Wow.
I just... it's great that it's available, that everybody has the option to purchase stylish clothes at inexpensive pricing, but all that says to me because I am on the production end of things, I have a clothing line. To me, that just says that's all overseas.
Exactly.
That's business
Oh,
that going
absolutely.
overseas.
Sweatshop. That's all that I hear.
Yeah, that's all I see. It's cheap, and it's I don't know.
I
Do we
mean-
need $1 camisoles?
On the flip side, what I will say, yes, I agree with you. This does mean, yes, all production is overseas in Asia, but because they're such a large company, they are able to get lower prices because of the sheer volume.
Of course,
you know
they
what
can.
I mean? They've got stores all over the world, so when you're able to, put in an order for 5 million T-shirts, your first cost can be 20 cents versus if you're a retailer that only has 100 stores, your first cost is going to be $1.50.
Well, we know they're already doing this already and manufacturing everything overseas anyways with their regular Forever 21 stores. I mean, I don't know.
I think they're at the point now where they're not. I mean, my friend does marketing for Forever 21 at the headquarters in downtown, and they're like any business. They need the revenue, they need the retail, they need it all to be strong. But I think they're doing well enough. They get things for 10 cents that the markup is still insane for $1.80. It's
well, and that's what I'm wondering. Sure. Why did they feel the need to open this store up?
Because there's a market for it.
There's a market
for it. Their store is already inexpensive as it is.
This looks like teenagers.
13.
Teenagers.
This is like
9 to
the tweens.
Yeah.
Wet seal.
Delia's is not that cheap.
Well,
but this is wet seal.
I think this is the customer that would shop at Justice or Delia's. It's for a younger customer. That's what I think this is. Whereas regular Forever 21, it's a little too advanced for a girl who's like 12 or 11.
Yeah, I mean, because we could find clothes there that we could wear professionally.
Well, there's a market. They'll make money.
It's like an edgy 11-year-old.
And right now they only have one boutique, but we'll see if they'll end up opening up more. All right.
Interesting.
So, fabulous, famous model Christy Turlington is back with Calvin Klein. Christy Turlington is back fronting the campaign for Calvin Klein's Eternity fragrance alongside her husband, filmmaker Ed Burns. Turlington starred in the ads 26 years ago in 1988, and if you look at the photos, she looks almost exactly the same then as she does now, which is crazy. The new campaign was shot by Ines van Lamswoord, I'm totally butchering that name, and Vino Matadin, who Turlington says are, quote, probably the two photographers I've worked with most over the past 10 years. When they call, I am going to have a good day.
Wow. She looks the same.
Yeah, she looks exactly the
Did you say
same.
1988?
Graceful.
Yeah. It's like almost
26 years ago.
26 years ago.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So she's back.
I wonder if that's like an amazing thing or a scary thing. It's like she's this 40-something woman who's representing beautiful and looks amazing and all this, or are we just continuing to communicate the same thing?
That's
to be
communicate the
completely
same
ageless.
thing.
That's a good point.
Like that youth and age, is
Eternity.
supposed to exactly.
Yeah.
Eternity.
You're a freaking vampire, and that's what.
It does go with.
The reality is, though, that is always going to be the message that's going to be communicated.
Yeah.
Youth, beauty, sex sells, no matter which way you change it around or whatever. It's just always going to be that same message. And as much as I think we've taken a lot of steps forward in embracing all different types of beauty. That's not going to change.
It's a consumer. It's what they.
Big business.
Yeah.
Creams, lotions, potions, Botox. It's a huge business.
And
Lotions and
people like to
seaweed.
see ads. If they're walking around and being bombarded with ads, at least they be ads of beautiful looking people.
Yeah.
This is true.
That's
You
reality.
don't want to look at ugly
That's what
folks
it is.
in an ad.
People don't always want to say it, but it is what it is. So.
Well,
I don't want to look at ugly people.
No.
I just would. I wouldn't be mad if it was a woman that looked 50 but still
This
looked
is true.
amazing.
I do
right?
love that though.
I love
do
seeing
love
that.
those.
Yeah.
With when the gray starts to creep, and I just think it's stunning when they just look graceful.
But I think that the
I
beauty
think
of
she does,
this
though.
is the fact that she did this 25 years
Yeah,
ago. So it's
exactly.
kind of, like you said, eternity.
But I
It's
do
like-
think she does look
Yeah, she's
stunning, and I don't think
fantastic.
she's done anything in her face. I'm glad I can't
It
tell.
doesn't look.
She probably has.
It's
I'm
probably
sure
been like
she has.
Probably has.
It's probably been like stuff. Like
I
a few
guarantee she
fillers.
has.
Yeah, she's had some work.
And
done.
Ed Burns is super sexy too, always.
Yeah,
I always liked him.
Didn't see him.
All right, yeah.
Didn't even notice. Christy was just beautiful.
So we've got a new reality show on E. Diane von Furstenberg is looking for a new global brand ambassador, and she will be documenting the whole process with the help of E! News. The designer has partnered with the network for a new reality competition, the DVF Project, which will pit contestants against one another in a series of challenges to figure out who will win the ultimate job. She says, quote, I am so thrilled to partner with E! and to grant young women the opportunity to become the women they want to be.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting show to watch.
But I'm sure they're gonna still want the cat fights.
Oh yeah. Fashion and reality TV just go so beautifully hand in hand. I mean, there's so many fashion model type reality shows.
Because it's a really stressful world. It's a stressful world as glamorous and fabulous as it is. There is that like angst of getting it just right and getting it out on time, and like all that stuff is amazing television.
Every industry in their own way, shape, or form is stressful and crazy. I mean, I was in real estate for years. That's stressful and crazy. And the investment banking world is stressful and crazy. But with fashion,
it's stressful and crazy.
And you're dealing with beautiful people.
Glamorous.
It's glamorous. So we just talked about
artists.
And clothes. And people like to look at that. So, all right. Okay, so last but not least, J.Crew, who we've talked about in past weeks, and their new lower price brand. Earlier this year, the news broke that J.Crew was going to begin offering a better price collection when their PR department nixed the idea and came out to refute claims made by CEO Mickey Drexler. But according to the Wall Street Journal, J.Crew's planning on opening a lower price brand called J.Crew Mercantile. They've already registered a trademark, having filing for one as last November. How will the J.Crew Mercantile be different from the J.Crew Factory, which is the store that's found in the outlets? Mercantile will be its own brand, whereas Factory will continue to serve in more of an outlet capacity.
That's interesting because J.Crew also owns Madewell. So I almost think of Madewell as the lower priced line of J.Crew, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. We shall see.
That's it.
That's it.
I don't know how I feel about J.Crew. I mean, I like it, but it's not really my flavor. It's a little bland for me.
Yeah.
That's just my.
I do like
basic.
J.Crew. I like their
palette
basics.
is pretty simple. Yeah.
Well,
I wonder how that is financially a good idea, really, because it's not really retail land right now to be like opening
they just seem
new
late.
ventures.
They seem late. Don't
I'm
they?
wondering if they're gonna create like a little segment within the J.Crew store and call Mercantile, or if they're actually planning on opening whole new retail outlets.
I don't know, but that's a good point. Yeah, because it's not the time
I
to be
mean,
opening new stores.
They're forecasting the end of malls in general in this country. Like, why? I don't see how that.
I don't think that's ever gonna happen though. The end of malls, but
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
even
it won't happen. There'll be less. There won't be as many. But there's no way that there's not going to be any malls.
I mean,
I think what's going to happen with malls, it's going to become a land of like high-end stores, like the Beverly Center in Los Angeles. Just so you guys know, just about every single store in there, it's Prada, it's Jimmy Choo, it's
but we
Burberry.
live in LA. Go to any other part in the country, and it's not like that.
I'm talking about
True. But I find even like when I go back home in the Midwest and I go to our normal malls, a lot of stores, like mainstream stores, shut down, closed, and a lot of mom and pops have filled
Opened
in.
up.
So the only stores that can afford those leases are your higher end quote unquote stores, wherever that may be. So I don't know.
Or the ones like Forever 21 that have millions of dollars.
This is true.
I mean, what I think, and this is pretty far out there theory. Eventually, what I see possibly happening is actually instead of malls, is showrooms. Because what a lot of people do is they like to feel, they like to try, but they don't always. A lot of times they can find it cheaper online. But if they have showrooms where people can try that on, and I've actually heard of different retailers actually doing things like that.
I feel like ASOS is going to be doing that soon.
And another thing too,
more
that they're
pop-up
starting
shops.
to actually charge people to try on clothes. I've heard that too.
Oh, that's
because people are
crazy.
coming in and they're trying on clothes and they're not buying and they're buying everything online.
Well, the personal shopper thing, that's really big with Topshop.
Yeah.
And that was being done for so long before Topshop really came over. Like they have the, you go in and then there's a whole personal stylist. Yeah, excuse me, personal shopper, personal stylist. And you go in and it's like this luxury treatment. They give you, water, tea, or whatever, candy, and then you get this experience. I think the showroom is kind of part of that, like that experience of people that you don't get online, that you can't get online.
Yeah.
I just think online it's making it so much easier for the consumer these days. There's free shipping, free returns. Now there's sites where you're your own stylist and they send you a box of clothes and you send them back. It's just it's becoming so easy not to leave your house.
Yeah,
You know?
but there's something to be said still
That's
about
scary.
being able to pick something up.
True.
And I think
And the
that's-
size,
There's nothing
sizing.
replaces
And I don't think
that.
that's ever going to replace that. Because
Yeah.
for someone like me who I mean, and you probably do too. You're pretty petite. Like I have a hard time with clothes a lot of times. I have
Absolutely.
unusually small shoulders. I have to try things on unless
Yeah.
it's a brand that I know. But even then, I the only time I ever buy anything online is when I know I can actually go to a store and return it in the store. So
But we're
at
also-
Nordstrom's or
but we're-
Bloomingdale's or BB.
We're also the generation of people that had that. So there's the whole generation of people that
Yes.
are coming up that all they do is shop online
That's
and they
true.
like it that way. Because my desire is always to go, I want to touch my dress. I want to feel it
Well,
and
you
put
don't
it
have
on
to.
and
You
all
don't have to go
that.
through mom and dad
Yeah.
when it's online and it's on your computer and you can just.
So,
But you
and
don't
I
think
think that the
girls are-
technology is only going to continue to grow to make things like being petite much simpler. You'll be able to press
Yeah.
a button on your phone and it takes your
Absolutely.
measurements
But
Permanently.
I do
perfectly.
agree
all
with
of that.
that. I mean, I bought 3 pairs of Levi products,
Yeah.
say from this Beyond the Rack. 3, 26, 26, 26. One is too big.
Yeah,
one
one's too
is tight. One is. It's just like, this is the kind of thing you deal with. It's kind of a guessing game because you know you're 26, but things are always different. Cuts are different. H&M is nothing like, Gap or whatever. Like the
Yeah.
sizing, you can't.
And what I think might happen also, we have all our theories, is shopping malls are going to be more about a destination, meaning like for those of you that are here in Los Angeles, like the Grove or something where there's movies and restaurants, because
Yeah,
no one's ever going to
that's what I
take away
think.
the idea of even young people. People love to go and shop. It's just an activity people enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Women love to do it together. Girlfriends love to do it together. You do it.
Restaurants,
People like to do it,
coffee,
so it's more of a
movies.
destination
Yeah.
to do almost like an activity, as opposed to I gotta go to the mall to buy some
Well,
clothes.
that's what's
Yeah.
already happening.
Exactly,
And
that's
that's
what's
why
gonna
the malls
happen.
aren't making any money because
No.
people go as a destination to
Yeah.
hang out, to go to dinner. They may go to the movie. They'll go to walk around, but they're not buying. And that's why
Yeah.
the retail stores are going under as it is.
When I think of mall, like from the Midwest, I think of closed. You go massive parking lot. You've got your JCPenney,
Yeah.
Macy's, whatever. Now with the like the Grove makes crazy money, and it's not just from
still
they've
don't
got
get
the
the Grove.
fountain. I mean, I gotta be honest. Anytime I have a visitor, that's where they want to go.
Yeah,
That's
it is. People do.
I
People wanna
get
go.
that,
People
but
love
like
it.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. You feel
They
like
make a killing.
It's like a
It's like
Disneyland
8
for adults.
stores.
It's like a Disneyland.
I know, but it's you've got the
know.
it
element of
does
it being
look like
Disneyland.
it looks like downtown
It's
It
Disneyland,
does.
Adventureland.
It is because it's like
There's some
super
bars.
clean. It's just beautifully
Music.
decorated. The
I
music.
prefer its sister at the Americana.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
that's
same,
amazing.
same thing. My idea. It's the
It
same
is
thing.
considered
I know
the
it is the
Grove.
same thing.
Yeah, it's
You
the
could
same
just
Americana,
you
the
could
brand.
walk it flat in like
Yeah,
10 minutes.
yeah.
The whole thing.
But you're outside,
Yeah,
and
I get it.
Outside is
It's
a big
very-
part
When
of
you're
it.
here in California, the weather's beautiful. You can have a year-round outside mall, like
And they shoot
Fashion
extra
Island.
there.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
extra.
And when you
Yeah, that's right, they
and
don't.
like you put food into the mix,
Oh,
and there's
yeah.
outside seating, and it's now a place to be seen.
Yes.
that changes everything.
everything.
That changes everything. But that's what I was gonna say. I feel like it's gonna be an outdoor, like
Yeah.
Fashion Island.
Fashion Island. I love
Fashion
that.
Island.
In Newport, for those of
Packed.
you who aren't
Yeah.
here, it's in Orange County. All of them. There's a ton of them. There's an
Yeah.
Irvine Spectrum. Anyways, that would only locals would know about that. So.
Well, it's time for us to get to know our guests. Miss
Back on
Traille, yes, it's all about you right now.
Oh boy. Well. So okay. So what do you?
Well, why don't you give us how did you end up on So You Think You Can Dance?
Okay. Well, I was a little late in the game considering just because a lot of people go for that show like right out of high school. But I went after college. Grew up with a Jamaican
Even though
family.
you look like you could be in college or high school.
Well, thank you. But I went to school in Dallas. I had a partial scholarship. Went to school and I decided to do marketing because there wasn't an artist, art. There was not like a really strong degree plan for that. So I just said, okay, practical business marketing. This thing I will use for forever in some form or fashion, and I have. And then I danced for the NBA from like my senior year of college. Then I was interning for a broadcast sales company. I was just literally doing the most, and I was just like, can't work in an office. This isn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then I auditioned for So You Think, and literally got the ticket to Vegas and went to Vegas, and that was like the hardest week of my whole life. Literally was the hardest week of my whole life, even moving
So
forward.
what was the audition process in Vegas, right?
Yes, that audition process,
Okay.
it was just insane. It was
What
like
was
the
so
most
hard about it?
exhausting, stressful, emotionally stressful, exhausting. You're starving. Your body is like done. It's physical, so your body is exhausted, and you have to wake up at 6 and you're dancing by 7. It's like it's intense, and you're going all day till midnight. So it's like, and then there's the adrenaline factor. When you have adrenaline put in like an audition situation, it's different than performing. Adrenaline puts a lot more stress on the body and on the muscles. You know, not to get too scientific, but it does. And so, therefore. But anyways, I made it through all that, made it on the show, got eliminated, came back for the finale, and was told that weekend that I was going to be going on tour, that all the contestants chose me to come on tour with them. So I went on tour, and that pretty much springboarded me to moving out here right away. I subletted from a friend. She was in Europe, and she came back early, and I moved downstairs, and I've lived there ever since. And it took 9 months, or it took 1 month to book my next job, my first job, which was, what was my first job? I can't really remember. It was like, I can't remember. Jeez, I can't believe I can't remember.
So where did the burlesque movie come in?
So that was 9 months later, like that fall of 2009, I auditioned like 9 times for that movie, and read like a handful of times for director Stephen Anton at Screen Gems and Sony Pictures in Culver City. It was insane. And that when I booked that finally, that we worked on that for like 6 months, and then went to all the premieres. There was a premiere in like Asia, London. There's all sorts of stuff like that. So some of my red carpet looks are on online, but like fashion. Film fashion was like a big contributor. I got to wear some awesome designers, and that was a really amazing experience. So it was the whole thing was like amazing. I wish I could do it all over again with the knowledge that I have now, instead of being so such a neophyte back then. But
what would you have done differently?
It's just a young woman. I mean, LA. I didn't realize there was a catty aspect to California that is not California. That's wrong. But with women in this competitive industry, it can be really, really aggressive. You have to prepare your mind for that. You have to prepare your soul for that. Like, it just took a lot, and I was a little too wide-eyed, and I let people kind of eat me alive without like not really holding my ground. So they thought they could. Because I didn't I didn't like stop them and say, hey, I know what you're doing. It's not going to work on me. I didn't say that. I would just kind of think it to myself. And, that stuff can really wear you thin. So I did learn a lot. I did learn a lot from that. And so moving forward, I never run into it again. Yeah.
That's helpful.
So what are you working on now?
Well, I do a lot of commercial work. So I just shot something for Burger King, which was extremely fun. It was so fun. They did like this whole spoof satirical thing with like this chicken man, and it's pretty funny. So I'm very interested to see this final edit. But I was on tour with Kanye. I've been dancing for Kanye off and on since 2011. Like the Runaway, he had the Runaway movie with the ballerinas and stuff like that, and I was a part of that when that went on tour, and then.
So how is Kanye West as a boss?
Yeah, so Kanye West is a boss, and you're actually prepared to talk about that because he's a big part of the fashion world now as well. And I got to work with Margiela before preparing for this past tour, this Yeezus tour. Like, Margiela was a big contributor to what we wore on stage was all Margiela. So it was insane working with them and meeting them, and like I feel like his whole creative team is so European influence. I mean, we had like Italian, we had French, we had English, British people there. It was amazing. But Kim, yeah, Kanye is he is, how do I describe him? He's just a true artist. He really is. I think he does antagonize media a little bit because it's so easy to antagonize because it just absorbs everything, negative or positive, and he's got it pretty mastered, but he's extremely dedicated, really hardworking, and he's a perfectionist, but he's also an artist, and I can't really hate because I'm an artist and I know I'm a perfectionist, and if you put all that time and energy into something in a brand, and why not see it through to the end? So I've been on stage with so many artists, and there's so many details that they're like, it doesn't matter, but like it mattered on Kanye. Show day. It matters on Kanye. It matters to Kanye, and it.
What would be like an example of that?
Like we wore these Margiela these flesh dyed mesh suits, And like sometimes on some of the girls that were thinner, for example, if they gathered at the knees, he was like, gotta go back. I don't want them gathering at the knees at all. Like they need to go all the way to the ankle, all the way to the wrist, no gathering at the elbow. He doesn't want to see the seams, like, you know, things like that. And like that skin tone's not like is dyed to our skin tone. He's like, that skin tone, you know, there's the dark girls it needs to look like their skin tone.
So he has a hand. He actually like, has a hand in all that.
Oh yeah.
What about your performances? Is there every time he's like, who hired that girl? Let's get rid of her. Like,
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's all the good with the hard stuff is, you know, a big part of it. And if you have a vision and you have all these auditions and then they come in and say some of the girls, like once you're in something that shows the body and the lines and it doesn't look right and it pops out to your eye, because this whole show is super minimal compared to the last show. It's all white. It's one massive screen. It's these like we look like basically mannequins without the ribs. We look like mannequins with hoods on, and it's him. So there's only 13 people on stage every night. 6 dancers, 3 models, and him every night. The band is not even highlighted. They're actually back this time, and so it's just like a long catwalk and then a triangular white stage. It's like you see everything. So fashion was a big. Margiela, their vision for that whole thing was like clean lines and like crisp. You know what I mean? And it was insane to see the mashup of music and fashion, or music and styling.
It's making me want to go see that show.
I know.
I
Just for
mean,
that,
the movie's
yeah.
coming out. The movie's coming out. I'm in that.
Oh,
and
you are?
Yes, I'm. That's supposed to be, I think, this summer, or like early fall, like maybe August. But that's supposed to come out, and it's kind of the behind the scenes, all the good stuff. So you missed all the other shows with the hiccups. This is gonna be seamless and beautiful.
You know, it's like really interesting because it's like a good point about like being so attention to detail. How other artists are like, oh, whatever. Because I just came back from Vegas and I saw the Britney Spears show,
Oh, how was
and
that?
it was. So the show itself was a fantastic show. I mean, the dancing was fabulous. Everything was fabulous. And then you see Britney, and you're like, what is wrong with you? It's like she's dancing 20%, and you know, here's her arm. She's doing this. It's not not like how she used to be. And you're like, God, the music's fabulous. The costumes are fabulous.
And it's that
everything's there, but there's something missing, and you're like, that. It's so important for every single
and she has
part
dance
of
background.
the puzzle. Yeah.
Kanye, for example, or like Beyonce, for example, or Lady Gaga, for example. I've worked with these people, and they have no dance background. Kanye does the same choreography in the show, not as us, but his personal with his movement, his swag. Like he does things where it goes with the music, and he drops to his knees, and that's the same every night, and he does it flawlessly. Like, you know, for him, I mean, Gaga, Beyonce, these people, like it's not just in their street fashion, it's on stage, it's all like tight and together, and it's amazing. It's inspiring.
What do you think we're going to see at this wedding, since he is going to be in charge
Oh
of it
boy.
all?
Well, this is this is what comes with it. But she knows who she's marrying, right? Like she knew, and you know he has a big say on what she wears, and I'm sure he's a big say on what she was going to wear at their wedding. But I think it's going to be stunning. I mean, unfortunately, I'm not there, but you know, maybe the Obamas
didn't
will
get an invite?
Maybe the Obamas will make an appearance, so they can hold my seat.
Maybe he'll need some dancers.
Yeah,
I know,
probably,
right?
definitely not. I think Kim's got a stonewalled.
Yeah. Well, if he has that much attention to detail for his show, I can imagine what he's going to do.
Yeah,
for
the wedding, the
wedding.
cake. I already hear the cake's like 7 tiers. She's giving Kate Middleton's wedding like her run for its
money,
money.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was a pan. Yeah.
Plus,
plan.
she's got to top her other weddings.
Oh right.
I mean,
this is the
you know,
third
this
one.
is- yeah.
Or
So-
second,
Oh,
third.
Second.
geez, third.
right?
It's
Third?
Third.
Who else is
She got married in Vegas to some
Yeah.
random
Oh,
guy.
that's
like,
third
when she
wedding,
was
yeah.
like 20.
Whoops.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things to wear, it's time for a little hot mess
Coming out
action.
with some hot
Yeah.
mess. Let's see what's
Love
going
that.
on this week. First up, we have Miss Kelly Rowland, who was at the American Ballet Theater opening night spring gala this week in New York City, and she wore this Lanvin frock accentuated with a bow and gold ankle strap pumps.
Okay.
And she just got married this
I
week,
know.
too.
She just
She
got
like,
married.
went to the ballet, and then she went and got married in Costa Rica.
so under the radar.
Very under the radar.
I'm married in Costa Rica.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it was beautiful. So she's in this gold Lanvin interestingly shaped.
I will comment on the
outfits.
fact that this is a super popular thing, especially I've noticed on darker skin, or is the same tone shoe matching.
yeah.
When that was like maybe taboo in the past, like the same,
going for
canary diamond
monochromatic,
yellow,
yeah.
monochromatic, like Lupita, Lupita,
Lupita.
she's like just kills it on the runway. I just like, I don't know, the shoes. It's a little costumey. Coming from someone who wears costumes, it's a little costume with a bow.
Yeah. I don't really like the proportion of it all. Something is a
lot
little
of
off.
leg.
And just because that slit is so high and because of its drop waist, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird.
That's perfectly
very
said.
weird.
That's perfectly said. Because it falls away from her body.
Yes.
But then
Yeah.
it shows her upper thigh. It's like it doesn't make your
It looks like a sack of upholstery to me.
Yeah, it just doesn't do anything to complement her figure.
like it.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the
it.
dress, but I do like the concept
Yeah.
of what you talked about, Chelsea,
yeah.
the monochromatic. And I actually really like the shoes, and I liked how like the bow on the shoes picked up the bow in the dress, but I don't like the way the dress fits her because she's got a
fabulous
fabulous
body.
Flawless body.
And you
doesn't-
don't really see it because what the emphasis is on her thigh, and I think she might be a little bit wider on the thighs,
Yeah.
which is fine, but it just the proportions are all off, and it's
Yeah.
not the right dress for her.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
agree.
say that's a hot mess around
Yeah,
the table.
hot mess
All
around the
right.
table.
We don't get
Sorry,
that
Kelly.
often, but sorry. Moving on, we have Dania Ramirez, who is starring in Lifetime's Devious Maids right now, and they were at the she was at the A&E up front in a black and white plunging neckline jumpsuit from Jenny Kane Resort Collection 2014, and you can't see it right now, but she has a sparkly headband. Her hair is in a bun, and she's got a sparkly headband. around her
Fabulous.
head. What do you think?
I love it. I mean, I would rock that. It's clean, crisp. I think black and white is fierce when it's done well. So, but the shoes, I mean, you can't. I don't know if you can really see the shoes, but I am dying because of the arch silhouette with the spike heel and the tailored pants is just so sexy, but so like tailored.
Yes.
I like it too. I like it. I think it's classy. I like the deliberate choice of not having any accessories and just letting the strength of the silhouette and the outfit speak for itself. I think it's hot.
Red
It's not
lip?
like super memorable or anything, but I
No.
think it looks hot and she looks good. So.
But she's at the A&E red carpet. There's a History Channel. I mean, it's not too much for this
Yeah, it's an
event.
upfront event,
Yeah.
so I think it worked for
I
that.
mean, I agree with you. It's not memorable, but I think I would have liked to have seen some
necklace?
type of jewelry, in the middle.
I think we can't see texture. I think that's a satin waistband.
Yeah.
And she's got a big cocktail ring, and I'm pretty sure those are jeweled
Yes.
on the shoe.
Okay.
So, and there's bling.
And she's got the
Okay,
bling on the headband,
okay, which we can't
see
see.
right now.
Got it.
I mean, and the
Yeah.
cleavage holds
Yeah.
its own.
Yeah, I was gonna say with that much cleavage and it still being tasteful,
Yeah.
I'm good with where she went.
Yeah, I am
Okay.
too.
All right, next up we have Zoe Saldana, who's been all over the place because she had her Rosemary's Baby premiere last Sunday, I believe, and she is wearing a Nina Ricci 2014 floral print chiffon wrap maxi dress with a thigh-high split to the 2014 Global Gift Gala in Paris.
It's stunning.
It's stunning.
I do think the bottom is whimsical and beautiful.
I think it's
Personally.
funny that like the movie that's coming out is Rosemary's Baby,
Yeah,
and
that's
this dress looks like something where she could have had a baby. And
Exactly.
the blood is at the bottom of it. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh my God!
That is not what I thought.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well,
Like
I think purple. I mean, the red carpet.
I don't
maybe.
like it. I don't like it. I don't like the silhouette on her. I don't.
It looks like
the
wind blew up
sleeves.
her skirt and it's blowing it out because it's not
I
fitted.
think-
It looks
I
like a
think
random
so.
'80s dress that was on like what's that Dallas Dynasty or whatever.
I wish I could see her walk because I bet that would be
Yeah.
flow. I just don't think this isn't the dress that you want to stand.
Yeah.
Like this is the dress that you kind of want to open up in that silhouette. Like this is not a front. This is not a front shot dress.
No.
This is like where you look over the shoulder. Like if we don't know what the back looks like, that could probably be the best part of the dress.
I hope so because the front certainly is
I
not.
imagine that's quite flowy,
Yeah.
which I love
It's
a flowy, but
chiffon, so yeah, I could see it.
I mean, we always lose it in translation of what it looks like in person or
Yeah.
with the movement and in a photo. I mean, we always do. But the reality is that you've got to hit every mark. You've got to look good in a photo.
So it
It's
might
gotta
be a
look
hot
good in
mess.
person.
It's gonna have to be a hot mess because it doesn't fit her waist.
Yeah,
and
it
and
doesn't.
I don't understand that. But the bottom to me is beautiful with the split. But I agree,
Yeah.
like it just does. It looks frumpy, like a.
and I
very
don't know if
comfy.
it goes with this movie.
It almost just looks like a house dress. You know, something you just wear around the house.
Maxi.
Kick around.
Well, it is a maxi, but
Yeah.
you know, well, she tried. All right, next up we have the always sexy and fabulous Jennifer Lopez rocking a Zuhair Murad 2014 Resort Collection sheer white blouse and high-waisted white pants and pumps.
Who wants to go first?
I kind of hate the sleeves. I have
Do
always
you
hated that
really?
sleeve.
Oh, because it's cut out of the.
No, I just like with the cuff.
split
It's
in
just
the cuff.
so. What is it? It's disco era. That's
very
disco
disco,
era.
yeah.
That's what it is. And I'm
Which
like,
is why I adore it.
oh, and I love my 70s, but I don't. I think she's on our way because she's got the bun and the drop earrings. Like, it's fabulous. But maybe, I don't know. Thank goodness. I don't know.
I love it. I think she looks slamming. I love the earrings. I love the sleeves, like you said, almost like the disco era a little bit. But the tailoring of the pants, everything about Jennifer Lopez is almost like Kanye. You know that
detail.
so much thought was put into every little thing that
Purse.
she did, from the lipstick to the lip gloss to the earrings to the shoes to everything.
Jewelry,
And everything
cocktail
goes
rings.
together perfectly.
Yeah.
And J-Lo always comes out looking slamming, and this is just another example of that.
She looks so rich.
Yeah.
I mean, she just
Right.
looks like
That's
it's
what it
just
is.
Like
She
she's
does
got
look
a
fabulous.
lady in
Yes.
waiting
Yes.
behind her. She looks.
She looks like
so rich.
princess
Yes.
material.
And I
looks
love
like a
it.
princess.
Royalty.
It's
And,
like,
and it's
yeah.
the look on her face too. She's like, I am boss.
Yeah.
Move out of my way.
I think that's what I would consider the hottest part is that
Yeah.
she
attitude.
owns everything she
Everything.
rocks. It doesn't matter if it's like a Jenny from the Block look
yeah.
yep.
or this, like headed to Monaco on a French yacht.
Exactly.
She does
It
just
looks like she'd be
look
going
very
to
well.
Monaco.
She does. And
She
what I
does.
do love about J-Lo is that every now and then she will bring out the Jenny from the
Yeah,
Block look. And I
exactly.
love that. And
She's
she's
fly.
still like, yeah,
She
look at me,
keeps-
I'm still the boss,
Yeah, she's
girl.
fly.
I'm, Jenny on the 6 or whatever she used to say. And she's-
Jenny on the set.
Jenny from Bel Air.
Oh my god! Oh my god! So we love her with some small tweaks for some. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right. So last but not least, another mama on the walking around, hanging out in New York, Miss Jada Pinkett-Smith. She was
Word.
on her way to the Fox up front, and she was wearing a fringed beaded Alberta Ferretti mini dress with nude Saint Laurent Jane sandals.
I think she's smoking. I give her a. I like the skin with the pop of the gold, like the muted gold. I just think it's a good compliment. I mean, her skin is her accessory right here.
yeah, it is. That's
You
true.
know.
She has a beautiful skin
She's
tone.
a fellow dancer. She's got a dance background.
Oh yeah, she's fat. Like, well, I mean, her body is
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't like it. I feel like it's cheesy.
I don't like
I think it
it.
looks cheap.
I don't. You know what?
Cheap and
I don't like
cheesy.
how it's nude. You can see like through it in the midriff.
Yeah.
It's a little tacky.
To me, that dress looks like a dress. And obviously, when you're in person and you see the quality of the fabric or whatever those tassels are made of, it makes a huge difference.
Exactly,
But
it's
by
the
looking at it
flash.
right now, it almost looks like one of those dresses that you go to when you're at like a vacation area, like somewhere in Mexico or Cabo or whatever, and they have those like fringy, weird, like swimsuit cover-ups. That's what it looks like in this photo.
But what good is fashion if it can't be photographed? Well, you're on a red carpet. You're gonna be photographed like it has to look good photographed.
And her body's going to look good in any tight mini dress because she has a slamming body. I just
Right.
feel like the fashion
I
isn't
think she
there.
looks cute. I do. I think she looks appropriate for the event
event.
that she's
Yeah.
attending. I
Yeah.
love the new longer bob haircut. I think that looks good on her. I think she looks good.
Love the bob.
Yeah.
Hate the dress.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're on your own for this one, Diona.
I love the sandals.
Yeah.
I really wanted to like the dress because when there's lots of pictures of her stepping out in New York and it's, but I don't like, you can see too much of the muscle of her chest coming out.
okay.
And then it looks like she's going to Vegas. It doesn't look
It
like
does
she's
look-
going to
yeah.
an upfront, like,
Fox.
because that's a business function, not really like, let's party. Well, I mean, they do
Yeah.
parties afterwards,
Yeah.
but it was just a little extra.
What was this
to me.
event? Do we
It
know?
was the Fox fan fronts in New York City. So it's like them talking
Yeah.
about their
This is not-
new shows because she's got a new show coming on Fox.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know. It just I don't like the sheer in the middle.
I'm pretty sure this would be considered a flop by most
yeah.
stylists out
It
there.
didn't work for me. I didn't work. It didn't work.
Unfortunately, we love you,
Fine.
Jada. We love that
She
We
skin.
love you,
stands
though.
alone.
We love you. And last but not least, for Style Watch this week, it's been May. We've had Mother's Day. We've celebrating mothers. Want to celebrate mothers continually for the month, and we're celebrating at Fab Mom Fly
Wow.
Wife. And she is a mom, a wife, style blogger on Instagram. You can find her again at Fab Mom Fly Wife, and she's always posting about her own personal style and keeping it up for herself as well as keeping her kids looking fly.
Do you know
and
how
going
old
out
she
with her
is?
Husband. I believe she is late 30s, early 40s.
Really?
She's cute. I like
Yeah,
that
I
outfit.
love the scarf. I like
like
the
I was gonna say
Shoes.
that scarf is not plain.
The scarf is everything.
That might be an Afghan.
She definitely posts like where she gets everything, and
Oh, I
the
love
the
that.
sandals she's wearing, they were like Sam and Libby from Target. Like she
Wow,
tells her
work.
girls and keeps everybody up to date on what she has and what she's wearing and where she
Good
gets
for
from.
her.
Great deals. So check her out at Fab Mom Fly Wife.
Fabulous. Well, that's been another fashionable Friday on Black Hollywood Live, Fashion 411. We want to thank our guest, Chelsea Traille.
Thank you so much for
Thank you,
having
thank you
me.
for
What a
coming.
blast.
Thank
You are all
you. We
stunning.
really appreciate you.
Beautiful women.
Thank you.
Honored to be here.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on my Instagram. Please follow me at CTEERAIL, CTRail, or on my Twitter, which is at Chelsea Traille. So my name is CHELSEA, last name TRAILLE, and also on Facebook.
Where can we find you ladies across the table?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stewart Starlet.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at IamEDR. And I want to ask you guys, if you are enjoying this show, to please rate us on iTunes. It helps us stay on top of the fashion. And just if you're listening right now, just put a pause or just go into iTunes and rate us. We would love to get at least 20 reviews by the end of the month.
That would be
So,
great.
yes.
Because we're going to have a contest, aren't we?
We are. So we
Yes.
have some really fun stuff coming up. We're going to do a really big giveaway, and we would love for your guys' support. So rate us. We know you guys are out there, and we know you guys love our show. So rate us on iTunes.
Awesome. And you guys can find me, Diona Vaughan, on Twitter and Instagram at It's Me, Diona V. Bye. See you next week.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.